And then on that, being able to send in documents, please, any documents, any information that you would like to send through the clerk. Now we're going to move to questions, and the members are going to have an opportunity to ask the witnesses questions. We're starting with Ms. Ikra Khalid from the Liberal Party.
Thank you very much,
for 7
Mr.
minutes.
Chair. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and I thank all of the witnesses here for your very compelling testimony. I would like to start by giving Ms. Switch the opportunity to finish her narrative of the events that Ms. Ojigo also highlighted as well. Ms. Switch, take your time, but I hope that you'll leave me some time to ask some follow-up questions. Just in your remarks, also, if you can address the Cybercrime Act in Nigeria and its impact on your advocacy in the online space as well. So please go ahead, Ms. Switch.
Okay, so just to quickly round that up, so like you said, I can leave you some time. We were able to sort of hold our ground, and then the military left after a commandant came, and we got his name. I think they must have, we just guessed they must have found out that there were a lot of people that were watching what was going on. But 45 or 50 minutes later, the police came and did the same thing and actually killed people. So that's just to wrap it up as quickly as possible. With regards to cybercrime in Nigeria, I think that's if I understand your question. Yes, it's a problem. It is a problem. And just like I said when I started speaking, that we've got something about Nigerians. We're very hardworking, and we have this survival, instinct at every level. There's this desperate need to survive, and not excusing that act because it is criminal, But all I'm saying is something led to something, and there's not enough sensitization. There's not enough education, for people to understand what they can use their skills for actually, so it's a broad scope. It's something that needs to be addressed. You've got intelligent people in Nigeria who don't use it for anything but to do criminal things online. Just to address that. Yeah.
Thank you. And Ms. Switch, if you can identify and highlight for us, what has your life been like since that fateful day, and how you are doing after that fact?
I've been on the move because it was 2 days after my live. The first threat came in. I thought it was a joke. I sincerely thought it was a joke. I was on my way home, because I had been on the street for 2 days straight. But just as I was leaving, because some of my colleagues in the same industry as I am tried to come get me out of the hospital, I was sort of vouching for one of the boys that we took in there. He was shot in the neck by a policeman. And just as I left, I got a phone call telling me I should please leave the vicinity, that there were military men at the hospital. And I think they found that out because on my story as well, I was thanking the manager of the hospital for letting us into his hospital and for treating us for free. So I think that's how they got that information. So I had to abandon my home. I moved from people's homes, like different places. I stayed in someone's property that they hadn't lived in for a long time. And then just to get out of Nigeria, I made short videos of my trip, just getting to where I am today. And I'm still traveling. So I'm not even done with my trip. And it's like in a forest just to get out of Nigeria. I still, when I put a cotton bud in my left ear, I bleed from there. I have a picture of that as well. I've been trying to document everything. I barely sleep. It's crazy. I can imagine parents who actually can't find their kids now because they've moved bodies. So I don't know.
Thank you for sharing that, Ms. Switch. I really, really hope that things improve. I'll turn to Ms. Ojigo with respect to your comments about Amnesty International and your ability to operate in Nigeria. You had mentioned that you've been asked to leave the country. We've seen, and you also mentioned that this ENDSARS movement is not new. what is different in this instance that has brought such large volumes of protests that has really highlighted this issue within the Nigerian people?
Thank you very much. I'll start with your last question. A lot of things have been building up in Nigeria in the last couple of years. So it was in 2017 that the ENDSARS hashtag started trending online. Last year, there was a visit by the Special Rapporteur of the United Nations on extrajudicial unlawful killing. And in her preliminary observations, she noted that the lack of accountability in Nigeria for crimes committed by the state officials is actually leading to that we're actually sitting on a keg of gunpowder. So the early warning signs have been there for a pretty long time, and it's kind of like peaked, showing that the government needed to address this issue. If people complain, you need to ensure that justice is served. So I guess that when that video on the 3rd of October was trending, people just had enough. And also because that month happened to be our independence month, anniversary month as well. Nigeria is celebrating 60 years of independence. So for young people, it's like, what's the future going to look like? I think there was a lot of mixed feelings celebrating our independence from Britain. So all of this culminated in addition to we're experiencing one of the worst economic recession of all times in recent times. Prices of things have gone up. So people are like, we can't even walk free on our streets. So we need justice to happen. With regards to the threat to Amnesty International, it's by a group that we suspect is being sponsored by the Nigerian military. We've not been able to directly link them together, but we've been having threats. We've been having staged protests in front of Amnesty offices whenever we release reports. And we've noticed that it's always when there's been a report linked to the military, we'll just have protesters in front of our office. And we have videos to show that afterwards they go and share money and then they leave. But why this threat is particularly worrying for us is not because they've asked us to leave Nigeria. They've asked us many times to do that. But because we are coming out of a period where there's been wanton killings and destruction of property across the country. We've been campaigning against the police.
Thank you.
And so we feel the people that observations, she noted that the lack of accountability in Nigeria for crimes committed by the state officials is actually leading to that we're actually sitting on a keg of gunpowder.